I started working counties back in the 60s, and I got in, actually completed the working all the counties the first time. I think that was back, it was in the 70s. And when I was in college, it was actually after I got out of college, I was back working. What got me into it really was in Idaho, we got 44 counties. And as it turns out, they had an Idaho award for working all the counties. And so I said, well, that'd be kind of cool. So I started working the counties from there, and some of the places I would get onto was the county hunting net, and lo and behold, I started working the fellows on the county hunting net. Then in college, what was crazy is we had a bunch of us that got together in the evenings on 75 meters at midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'm doing lab study writes at that time, write-ups, and I'd say, well, heck, we can chat too and do that at the same time. So that's how that progressed. 10, 15 years ago was working all the counties on CW, because when I first worked them, it was a combination of CW and voice. And that's just the way it was. We're down to 10 counties to go, or 9 counties to go, to have the 4th time around. So I've worked all counties 4 times at that point. Well, I worked this is up on the wall, this is the BUCC that I earned for 6 meters and 2 meters. And those are dated back, I think the date was '89. BUCC stands for, it's the BHF Century Club. It's like the DXCC, where you work countries. Up on the BUCC, you work in grids that are 1 by 2, 1 degree longitude, 2 degrees latitude. Back in those days, we didn't have FTA, we didn't have any of these new digital modes. It was all sideband or CW, and you would have to wait for E-season. We may have 1 or 2 openings where we'd be able to work outside of the Northwest, and then also during the meteor showers. And the Perseids meteor shower in August was always a prime one. And what you'd end up doing is you would set schedules up with other stations, and at a time and a frequency, and those were done with voice. And the problem with that is you do that for a couple of days, and it doesn't take too long for your voice and your throat gets sore, and you'd have a couple of weeks for recovery. But it was always a lot of fun. And the highlight of that is I was in Boise, and I worked the president of the ERRL now, K5UR. I worked him on Meteor Scouter, and it was out about 1,300, 1,400 miles. Normally, you would only be out about 1,200 maximum. And we think it was a combination of maybe some E's, multiple rocks, we're not sure. But he still remembers that, and so do I.